Lydia.
And this is Kenny G.
And we're going to talk about our thoughts and opinions of Anime North 2018. So, Ken, what's your thoughts and opinion?
I'd give it a B plus, B minus.
Why
Maybe
not
just a
an
B.
A plus? What happened?
Oh.
Where did our humble convention fall from grace?
Giant lines.
Yeah, that's exactly. Essentially, it's the problem every year. This year...
Last year, though, wasn't that bad.
No,
2017,
it wasn't.
2017, in my opinion, was the best year, convention-wise.
I see.
Because the lines were reasonable. We got into most things that we wanted to get into. Well, that's about it, really. I mean, because the crowds were down, we were able to get into everything we wanted to get into.
Yes.
Because of the, well, maybe we should step back a few steps here.
So
there was an attendance cap put in place.
Yes.
Right?
And we found out this year at closing ceremonies that they lifted the attendance cap and allowed 2,000 more people in there, which you definitely felt.
Yes, 2,000 people's not a lot,
like
but
in
it
a
is a lot.
30,000 people crowd, it's not a lot, but it is. Like,
Yeah.
we were capped off at a food line. Remember that?
Yes, we were in
Ridiculousness?
line to get lunch, and we were cut off and told to leave because the line was too long for food.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we're starving.
And they're like, well, too bad. It was just brutal. It's just the attitudes of all the volunteers there is just a very entitled attitude. And yes, we have to be grateful to them because they volunteer their time. However, they have this chip on their shoulder. A lot of times I find, especially the males, have a chip on their shoulder and they're like, this is my time to be important, so I'm just going to step on everyone.
Yeah, you know what? That is a whole topic in itself, but we can talk about that a bit. That security is so rude.
Yeah.
There, or not security, the volunteers in general.
The volunteer securities, yeah.
Are very rude.
Well, and like, especially because like,
lots of angry shouting, being unnecessarily rude to people. They are nice. We've met a few nice volunteers. I mean, even the volunteer who actually capped the line for the food, he wasn't like aggressively rude with us.
No.
He just said, no, I was told to do this. I'm sorry, right? And it's like, well, it sucks.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, there are other volunteers who are aggressively shouting as you're going through the hallways and stuff. And like, okay, let's start right from scratch. The experience in general is, in my opinion, gone downhill. Fact number one, you're treated like you're like an intruder. So when you first walk in the door, you're like interrogated by like 6 different badge checkers.
Yes.
Over and over and over as you walk in.
Yes.
Right. This is if you already have your badge.
Yes.
So you.
Yeah. So okay. To Anime North's credit, thank God they have the badge mail out because I hated standing in that line.
Yes, that is
so stupid. It was so.
That
stupid.
is the best thing they've done
in years. In many years. Yes, I have to agree because like they do this thing where like you can buy your pass and you can buy a mailing. They mail it directly to you because in years past, even if you bought your pass in advance,
you have
to wait in like a 300, 400 people line. And like
no, more like 5,000 people. Oh my God,
it was horrible. And then of course you get the volunteers yelling at you like blah, 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 and then you have to snake the line so stupidly, and everyone's trying to like rush, and then
there's people cutting in line.
Yes, yeah. I was saving a spot for my 16 friends. It's like, get the hell out of here. It was just, oh my God, it was brutal.
So once you get your pass,
yeah. So thank God they've implemented this. That's probably the best thing they've done in years. So we have our pass in the mail. It came to our house. We are wearing them. And go.
And you walk in.
Yes.
And there's the guy at the door who's shouting at you rudely.
There's 2 guys at the door.
Yes, 2. Right? And they're grabbing some people's passes that are like dangling around their neck to check them, right?
Yes.
And first of all, that's a little aggressive in itself.
Yes.
But, you know, and they're like, pass, show us your pass, right? And it's like, yes, you can clearly see I'm wearing the pass.
Yeah.
You know, they're worried about people sneaking in.
And like counterfeit passes,
which probably happens. Let's say their attendance is 33,000. I think they said this year, something like that. I bet you 1,000 of those are fakes.
Like less
even.
Like, maybe, I can't even imagine. Like, is there an Anime North ring of like people like giving up passes? There's probably like one guy who made like 5 fake passes just so that he could have some spending money.
They're made of hard plastic.
Yeah, like it's just, like it seems
you'd have to be pretty. You if you're talented, I guess you could make one. But I mean, it's a bit over hyped. Or what's the right word? I don't even know what the right word would be. But basically,
it's like they over exaggerate how many people are
right. Not to mention, this event is not for profit, but they're tripping balls about a few people sneaking in. You know, we paid. Yeah. Anyways, to get back on topic.
Sorry, so you get checked around the first 2 people.
Then you walk in. Then within like 5-10 feet of the door you walk in, there's another person checks your pass. Yeah. And you walk past him. Then there's a guy.
There's 3 people.
Yes, 3 more. And then they check your pass.
And they're yelling at you.
They're screaming at you. Then you get past them, and there's a dude standing on like a chair, looking, higher up, looking down at everyone. Yeah. He's like, passes up, hold your passes in the air, right? It's like insanity. And then you go and you try to go to a different section, like the dealer's area,
or the gaming
room,
or the
and they're like,
alley.
show us your pass, and you're like, I get resentful, and I'm just like, you already saw my pass. You already checked my pass like 5 flipping times to get in here, and now you want to interrogate me again. Yeah. You're making my experience very, very negative.
Yes.
For the few people that sneak in.
Yeah.
You know, who gives a flip? It's a non-for-profit event. I would love to hear their arguments against it. Is there 10,000 people sneaking in?
Yeah.
It's affecting their...
I can't imagine.
No, it cannot be. It's impossible. People generally are not like that. They're not... They're not at home printing out fake passes. There are some people, but on the level, most people are buying their passes. That's how they get their attendance count.
Like, here's a secret, Anime North. There are a lot of people who aren't paying. You know where they are? They're sitting in front of the TTC.
Yes.
Like, how many of our friends have been like, I'm not going to the con this year. I'm going to go sit outside, but I'm not paying for the con. And they get the same con experience. You mean, really, what's in there? The dealer's room, which is overpriced and ridiculous.
Which we don't even enjoy anymore.
No, I mean, the Nomichi is the...
The Nomichi is the highlight of the whole weekend.
Yes.
Besides maybe the Maid Cafe. Yes. Not the Maid Cafe.
Not their Maid Cafe.
Uncle Tetsu
Angel
Maid
Cafe.
Dancing thingy.
Oh, because I mean, getting into the Anime North Maid Cafe, impossible.
It's a nightmare.
Impossible.
Don't you have to buy them online?
No, you're not allowed to buy them online. You have to go to the coat room in advance, like 2 days before the con. You have to buy it in advance.
Like, and Thursday?
I don't like. I think on Friday you have to buy the tickets for Saturday.
Oh yes,
like,
okay,
yeah. It's just very confusing. Like, they should just put that one online. Because I would love to go. I've gone maybe once. In the 15 years of going to Anime North, I've gone maybe once because that's the only time I got my hands on a ticket. Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous. So that's why, like, I appreciate the Uncle Tetsuo's maids, because I'm like, they're actually accessible and I can watch them and they're talented.
Very talented,
like, it's just, I don't know. So, I love it.
So, very frustrating. I don't even, maybe my B- was generous, but
remember we got kicked out of a room because they didn't want us touching the art on the wall.
Oh yes,
that was ridiculous. That was after the Angel Cafe. We were trying to arrange dinner plans via text message, and then one of the Anime North volunteers is like, "Excuse me, you need to leave this room." And we're like, "Well, we're just finishing up here." And he's like, well, the venue does not want you to touch their art. I'm like, we weren't even close to the art.
Yes, because there was this crappy painting.
That was like, that was like 30 feet high.
First of all, it's a print. It's not real.
I don't know.
And, well, obviously it is. Nobody is painting a fucking, excuse my language, 40 foot by 40 foot painting.
But like, even if they were like, I mean, okay, no offense, it was not the Mona Lisa. It was just like a regular painting of like a guy in a boat. You're like, okay.
They're not putting that out in the hallway. Okay, if it was worth anything, they would not be putting it in a hallway where thousands and thousands of people walk by.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? And it was like a 10-foot high piece. Like what am I going to stick it in my coat? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
We need like 10 people to freaking walk out with that thing.
That's like, we need Vin Diesel for that thing.
We need the Phantom Thieves.
Like, seriously. So it's just like parts of Anime North can get annoying like that. One negative experience I had, mostly because of my own stupidity, is that I got dehydrated and heat stroked, which kind of ruined my Saturday. Sorry, and yours. Sorry, Kenny.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Like, but I feel like last year, like, maybe there was just more access to water. Like, I feel like things were kind of
there was less. I think maybe there was the same amount of water stations. No, maybe not. I didn't see one in the dealer's room.
Yeah, like, it was just...
The dealer's room? Okay, so let's talk briefly about the dealer's room.
All right.
The dealer's room sucks.
Oh, God. It's awful.
It is the worst place to go. Like, the absolute worst. It's crowded.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's muggy because there's so many people in there. And the prices are atrocious. There is nothing that is a bargain.
No.
There's nothing. Okay, when we started going to Anime North...
Back in my day. Like, Sunday was the day you went to the dealer's room.
Well, even on other days, you could go to the dealer's room and get a fair deal.
Like, you could haggle, and it was like...
Excuse me.
You know, and it was reasonable.
Yep.
Like, paying like $30 for a figure back then was like, oh, that's high, but okay. Like, we saw maybe 2 tables that had $30 figures.
Yeah, everything was like in the $100 plus range.
$180, $350. It was like, Jesus! Like, who's carrying this amount of money around? But I mean,
the prices are atrocious.
Horrible.
And even if you want to say that, the manufacturers charge more.
Oh, that's the narrative that one place was pulling.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
But it's like, bollocks.
Yeah,
bollocks, I say. I agree. Manufacturers probably charge a few more bucks.
No, but if you buy it wholesale, like, you save money. So, I mean, but obviously passing the savings on to your customer kind of defeats the whole purpose of the business and capitalism. So, I don't know.
Yes, but
I get it.
What I'm trying to say, I kind of got off topic, but what I'm trying to say is the dealer's room, there are no deals.
Yes.
Right? You might as well call it the vendor room.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah. And like the lineup for the ATM, they only have one ATM. Like, still. Like,
and there is like
it's like a
200, 300 people in line for it.
It's ridiculous.
There was a second ATM outside near the food truck.
Yeah, but like obviously
even there was like 200 people in line.
It's ridiculous. Like, come on. Like, we should just run the ATM machine, be like, how much do you need? There you go. And then like ding 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 ding, cash up that weekend. Like, it's just it's very frustrating because like I don't know, and like there's like a candy vendor that has nothing to do with anime. I mean, I'm glad that she's there, but it's just
I bought something.
I know. It's just
that was the only thing I bought in the vendor's room or dealer's room.
Yeah, and like you hear like scary stories of people like for example that one person who bought from the knife vendor and you're not allowed to open the box indoors. So then he went to his car because it's a weapon. So he went to his car, opened up the box was empty. He went back, and the guy's like, I don't know that you didn't take it out, and it's just like. And so he got ripped off like $300. That poor guy. I don't know who he was, but I think it was on like Reddit or something.
It was on Facebook and it was, one of those Sephiroth swords.
Yeah.
The long things.
So, I mean, dealer's room is not really a deal anymore. And
there are no deals in the dealer room.
It's not like they have your best interest in mind either. Like, I mean, they're yelling and screaming at the entrance and the exits to see your pass.
They treat you like you're infiltrating in there and you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, when you leave Walmart and they're like, let me check your bags.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're like, what am I, a thief?
Like,
I paid for you saw me walk right from the teller.
I know.
Or the cashier, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, and that's the feeling you get at Anime North now. And at the end of the con, the dude comes up and gives a speech, and it's a nice speech.
Oh, I love that guy.
Right? He's nice.
He's wonderful.
But overall, not the greatest experience. So we've talked about the grandstanding security.
Yeah.
We've talked about the no deals in the dealer's room.
Yeah, the lines.
The line capping.
Everything. Panels.
You can't even get into any good panels because they're all backed up.
Yeah.
You have to line up an hour early.
Or like half an hour early.
At least half an hour early for a panel. So eventually we got to a point where we're just not going to attempt to go to panels.
Yeah.
That are going to be hugely popular.
Yeah.
Right? We'll seek out the smaller panels.
Yeah.
Like we went to the Metal Gear panel, we got in there.
Yeah, but that's because we lined up. But like,
oh yeah, you're right. We did line up.
Like,
for that.
yeah, the only way that you can get into a panel is if you wait like for it to begin 20 minutes after, then you come in and people like there's a couple spots because like
people ditch,
right? And it's just like, oh, it's so frustrating. Like I wish they had some sort of fast pass thing or like you know what I mean? It's just like,
okay, so it all comes back to this, right? It all comes back to this. Actually, no. Let's touch on one more thing first.
Yes.
How disjointed it is.
Oh my god,
I hate it.
6 different buildings.
I hate it. Even this year, they got that other building, the TTC North building, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, like
for big events. Like for example, why was the Maid Cafe stuff? Not Maid Cafe, Uncle Tetsu. Why didn't they perform there? They should perform there. That way they could have more people. Right?
Yeah.
Instead, they crammed them in this little room.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that building was empty.
Yeah.
Right? The only stuff they did in that building was like, they didn't even do the J-Rock stuff in that building. They did it in where we were, the normal TTC building. Mm-hmm. The only stuff I think they really did there was like opening ceremonies, closing ceremonies. I mean, let me check the schedule.
Like, I'm wondering why. Okay, so like if you go to AMA North, it is dispersed among like 6 different venues. I mean, you have the TTC, you have I think it's called the Delta now. It's changed a million times. It used to be the
DoubleTree. Then was it the Crown Plaza?
No, it was the International.
The International?
Yeah. So sorry. So we have the TTC, right? Then we have the Delta. Then there's that because the Delta is kind of where like the other main stuff happens. And there's a Sheridan, where's that's the gaming and the Yowie stuff. The Crown Plaza is where all the dull stuff happens. Then I think the Holiday Inn last year they used that venue for the burlesque. So like 5. I think I've already listed like 5 places. So like this is the frustrating part about AMA North.
It's everywhere.
It's like you gotta walk, you gotta park in different places. Because like if you have like a wide interest, you gotta like plan your day because you're like, I gotta be in this building for a couple hours and I gotta go over to this building, then I have to walk the bridge.
Basically, you gotta commit.
Yeah.
So here's a dealio. For example, Lydia, you like Yowie.
I do.
If you're going to go to the Yowie North section, you basically have to block off 6 hours
at the Sheridan
to commit yourself because you have to get over there, which is by shuttle or
by
car,
walking.
And if you drive, you have to pay to park there.
Yes, you do. $20 a day.
Yeah, or you walk from the TTC, which I'm not doing.
No.
Lots of people do though.
I know.
So all the credit to them, but I ain't walking. The only other option is shuttle. So are you going to shuttle over there for 1 hour and shuttle back? No. You're going to go over there for a couple. You have to commit to a few hours. So what happens if there's one panel that's good? Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at Yowie North, right, which is the Yowie section, they only have like 2 or 3 rooms at the Sheridan.
Yes.
So say there's one event you enjoy, the next one's not for 4 hours. So what, you going to shuttle over, shuttle back, then shuttle back to the Sheridan again 4 hours later to see the next event?
No.
Then shuttle back to the TTC and this is a 15-minute shuttle ride.
Like, you gotta wait. You gotta wait for them to come get you. And like the traffic on that bridge is insane.
You might be waiting an hour. Okay, if you board the shuttle at the Sheridan, the ride to go from the Sheridan to the TTC might be an hour even though it's a 5-minute drive.
Yeah,
because the traffic is that bad.
And that intersection where all the cosplayers cross, it's like, oh my god, like
it's like one car gets through per light.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
And it's backed up for like 2, 3, 4 kilometers.
And like even eating at the con, we had to leave. We had to like 8-minute drive down the 401 so that we could actually get a meal, because like overcrowding is everywhere, and it's like, and you want it. And it takes. I feel like it takes
you
away,
out of the con.
It does take you out of the con.
Because if you have to drive, we had to drive. It was a 12-minute drive, which is not that far.
No,
but it takes you out of the con.
Yeah,
because you're separated from all the other people who are in costume and stuff.
Yeah, you're like your fellow nerds, and like you're like, either I have to drive away from the con and eat, or I have to wait 3 hours for a seat at Swiss Chalet, maybe. And everyone, all the staff hates you because they're overworked.
So rude to you.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's a negative experience. You know, we've been not too pleasant actually about.
Sorry. So like I do love Anime North. I do. And like every year my family asks me like, "Oh, you going again next year?" And I'm like, you know, cuz like you sound pretty pissed. But it's like, but there are aspects of it that I really do like. I mean, like all the cosplayers are amazing. I mean, the concerts are great. I get to cosplay,
which you love.
I do, and just I get to spend time with you. You're my best friend. It's like art. It's like my vacation for the year, because I mean, I don't really.
We don't get a lot of vacation.
We don't get a lot of vacation. It's not like I'm rolling around in like money where I'm like, oh, I'm going to Paris this weekend. Like, it just, this is my vacation for the year. Is this and YetiCon.
Yeah.
So like overall,
what else was
like,
positive?
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, hang on. Before we get into that, let me just say one last thing about the disjointed configuration of the con.
Yes.
My opinion is they need to move the con.
They do. They won't.
They won't either out of stubbornness, tradition,
money,
or money. Because it's a non-for-profit event that cares a lot about profit.
Certainly does.
Right? I get that they donate the money, at least that's what they claim.
Yeah, but it's just, like if they just move to like the Metro Toronto Convention Center, something where it's like, please have all the things under one roof. Please, for the love of God.
I don't even care if they're for profit or not.
I don't
just get it in a friggin' good location where it's all under one roof. Get the Metro, is that the Metro?
Toronto Convention Center.
Yeah. Get that one, just like Fan Expo does. You'll get less of a turnout because it's not Fan Expo, right? And then
think about it. I mean, like, if you want to grow your brand, you need to move to a bigger venue, right? I think that I think Anime North thinks that like this is like more of a community feel by having it in 6 different places, but like I'm telling you honestly, like
it's the worst.
It's the worst. From a con-goer's perspective, it's awful. Just like to give you a little insight, we go to YetiCon every year, and it's the 3rd year, and it is amazing because it's all literally under one roof. Like you have your venue, right? Like where everything's going on. You have your hotel. You have like all your restaurants. Like everything is encapsulated in one place. And so for example, like if I had like a wardrobe malfunction with my cosplay at YetiCon, I'd be like, okay, you know what? I'm 5 minutes away from my room. I'm just gonna run up, fix my wig, and come back down. If you have a problem at Anime North, there is no going back to your hotel room unless you plan to stay there for a few hours, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just like, so what we do, we put stuff in the car. We just have to put stuff in the car because you have to anticipate the need. And then, oh my God, walking back to the car is a nightmare because the parking lot is insane. Absolutely insane. So, I love Anime North because of the people, but also I hate Anime North because of the people. I don't know. It's one of those cons. I can't give it up. I can't give up this con.
I love it and I hate it.
Yes. That's exactly how I feel.
There's still some great things about it, but it's certainly becoming difficult. And a lot of these issues are caused by them being non-for-profit So thus they get volunteers.
Yeah.
And them choosing the venue they've chosen.
Yeah. It's time to maybe move.
Yeah, it's time to get a better location that will accommodate the size of the event.
Yes, I have to agree.
So, if we want to talk about a few positives, I don't know. Did we already touch on the positives?
We did, but it's probably
There's
better.
Nomichi.
Yes.
There's the maid thing.
Yes.
There
are fun panels
you can
to go
meet
talk
people,
to.
which is okay.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because you meet people who live far away from you.
That's difficult. But sometimes you can make friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hanging out with people is cool. At the con. What else? Cosplaying. That's cool. That's about, I guess, seeing new anime.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see the MV contest this year.
No, you're right, we didn't.
But usually the MV contest is pretty good.
Yeah.
You can, learn about some new animes, although we've been more up and ons on anime recently than usual.
Thank you, Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really it. Is there, what do you want to say? Anything else?
Oh, I don't know. It's just it's a tough con, especially because you have to plan everything a year in advance. Essentially, you have to plan your admission. You have to plan your.
Oh my God! We didn't even talk about how you have to book the hotel.
It's
9 months in advance.
Yeah, and they take a deposit.
And they take the money immediately, which is BS. Yeah. Right.
But the only good thing that Anime North, they do fight for
better rates.
Yeah. So I give them credit for that. That is good. I mean, because paying full price obviously is never fun, and
it's not like you get a huge deal though.
That's true too.
You're still paying $150.
And I'm pretty sure they get a kickback as well. I think that's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're kidding yourself if you think Anime North's not getting a kickback for.
I think they are
filling the entire hotel full of people.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? So, it's a business, even though it's not.
They claim it's not a business, but it's definitely a business.
Kind of a business, kind of. Anyways, sorry. Get back to positive stuff. Stop going back to negative.
Yeah, it was a rough year, I guess.
It was a really rough year. Well, not only because you were ill, but also usually for the Nomichi we usually acquire more stuff, but then this year it was harder to find stuff.
The Nomichi has even started to fill up with sellers, which is another thing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They're vendors.
Yes.
I swear to God, they're vendors.
Who didn't get into the vendors room.
Yes, that's what they are.
It's like this is my backup that only cost me $40 as opposed to I'm sure
$200 plus.
It must be a lot of money for a table. In the dealer's room, I'm thinking maybe $500, maybe. I don't know because I haven't never been a vendor before, but
I would wager $500 at least.
That would be So it's one of those cons that you have to kind of plan ahead to have a good time. Like you were saying, you need to schedule everything, and it's kind of go. Everything's on a schedule. Whereas YetiCon on the flip side is more of a relaxing convention. Where
yes,
it's
I think YetiCon
is the vacation
is now my favorite con.
Yeah.
Right? It's trumped every other con. Just because it's a relaxing convention. Even if you don't get into all the panels there, which we haven't had an issue with, but if that was to happen,
there's other things to do.
It's so relaxing there.
Yeah.
You can go chill out in the pool, or they've got the hot tubs, and they've got all of the
mini
activities to do.
The gondola, you can go hiking.
And the village.
Yeah.
There's the villa or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff to do there, and it's all under one roof. It's all in one area.
Yes.
That you don't have to walk more than 5 minutes, maybe, to go from your hotel room to the convention floor.
Yeah, it's true.
Not friggin' parking nightmare and all that other stuff. So
obviously.
Don't go to YetiCon.
Ah, come on! It's our secret. Shut up. So anyway, to conclude, Anime North, even though it's a pain in our ass, it's a con that we're just going to keep going to. It's lovely, and It's lovely in its own way. Even though it's very regimented and scheduled, it's a lot of fun. YetiCon is its own thing because it's its own thing. But if anything, Anime North, I mean, it could improve on something a lot, but it's also good at its core. At its core, it's a collection of anime nerds who are all in a safe space together, and like that's the
awesome part.
That's right? The awesome part, yeah. Because I mean, that's a experience you can't really replicate. So, thank you to everyone who runs Anime North. Thank you to the volunteers, and thank you to all the congoers as well. I know we were shitting on it, but like
they've turned off the video by now.
Oh god. Anyways, I think we're gonna close off.
Yes, YetiCon is awesome,
but don't go.
Don't go, because I don't want to wait in lines.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for sitting through this. If you like what you see, please smash that subscribe button. Give us a couple of likes. You can also follow us.
Can we get 5 likes?
If we get 5 likes, Kenny is going to cut his hair.
No.
Okay.
5 likes.
Consecutive
per person.
Oh god. Okay.
If you're watching this video, we need 5 likes from you.
All right. So we also have Twitter. You are _Dorkalicious. And thank you so much for listening to our podcast. This has been Lydia.
And Kenny G.
Signing off. It's been fun dorking out with you. Bye-bye.
Bye.